Levi Strauss & Co. is one of the world's largest and most well-known apparel brands. It sells tops, bottoms and accessories through its Levi's, Denizen, Dockers and Signature by Levi Strauss & Co. brands. The company had an IPO in March this year. It raised about 623 million and is now worth 6.6 billion. But will the good times last? This is actually its second IPO. There was a share buyback and the company was delisted in 1985 because denim jeans was not popular with consumers then. The company was in a slump for a long time. From 1996 to 2001, it lost almost half the business. Its fortunes seems to have changed. It sells apparels in 110 countries through 50,000 retail locations now. Last month, it further announced a 7% increase in Q1 revenues compared to the year before. So can it last this time? We will dive deep into our analysis. Using Porter's 5 forces, we see there's a lot of headwinds for the apparel industry. Because there are little barriers to entry, there are many competitors. Rivalry is fierce, and because there are so many options, buyers have plenty of power to switch at little cost. But there are bright sparks too. Apparel companies like Levi's have power over its suppliers, contract manufacturers to be exact. This is because contract manufacturers are plentiful and there's little to set them apart. So buyers like Levi's can ask for certain conditions to be met and force the price to be down. Another brackish spark is that even though a consumer can substitute an apparel piece quite easily, a good brand does help. Buyers want to be part of a culture, identity and the values that the brand epitomizes. The 5 forces framework do not entirely capture all the external forces at play, so we include elements from the pastel analysis. Based on the apparel industry's supply chains, often across borders, industry players will be affected by changes in the trade tariffs, export negotiations, and political risks. Examples include the continuing Brexit uncertainty, the likely failure to ratify the new North American Free Trade Agreement like the NAFTA, and the trade standoff between the US and China. Levi's is not immune. Under the social, cultural factors, language, ethics, and even cultural differences can win or sour our trade. So companies like Levi's, which embrace the American culture as part of its brand, may not be welcomed in certain parts of the world. For example, Chinese consumers also no longer see foreign brands as superior and are turning to domestic brands. Under technology and environment, technology has definitely changed the apparel industry. E-commerce has revolutionized how people shop, and brands must build on digital showcases and seamless omni-channels. Consumers also now want brands to care for the environment, so apparel firms must respond adequately to these forces. Levi's manages to somewhat tick the boxes, as we will see later on in our internal analysis and corporate strategies. First, we identify some of the firm's resources, capabilities under tangible, intangible, and HR strengths. Core competencies are formed when these resources and capabilities are combined and sharpened into complex systems that can give the firm a competitive advantage. We identified 2 core competencies for the firm. First, innovation through technology and focus on excellence. Now, Levi's focus on Project FLX and it also has a representation on the whole new approach of its manufacturing and supply chain. It uses lasers for finishing of jeans and cuts down finishing time from 30 minutes per pair to 1 to 2 minutes. It also eliminates harmful chemicals and also plays into the brand story, especially for millennials. It is also looking at how to use data analytics to better inform decisions and also what to produce for the firm and also manage the inventory. For the part of brand, it dovetails into the American cultural identity and value of the freedom. It has the profits of principles mantra that is set up to appeal to younger consumers. It protects workers' rights and it is about protecting the environment. It also works with artists like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce to endorse the brand and create the fashion capsules. We then put core competencies to the test, as you can see. They have to be rare and valued in the marketplace, difficult to imitate, durable, and hard to substitute. We can conclude that these 2 core competencies bring competitive advantage to the firm. It also aligns with the strengths in the external analysis, with brand and power over the supply side of the business. Levi's can make its suppliers follow its new manufacturing model. The company is firmly banking on Levi's brands, which account for 84% of revenues. Most of advertising and marketing goes to the Levi's name. It is using the brand to achieve broad differentiation. Consumers are willing to pay for a premium for the brand or choose it above other competitors. But Levi's is also doing its best to allow it all to access its apparels. Signature by Levi Strauss & Co. for cost-conscious consumers, which are available in the Walmarts at about US $19, and Levi's for its premium products, available in Macy's store for over $200. This strategy gives the most number of people opportunity to choose and buy a Levi's brand, which is its competitive advantage. Then it is diversifying products to better capture also the women's market, with 30% of revenue from the women's apparels already representing 8 quarters of double-digit growth for this segment. Again, Levi's is giving its customers more access to the brand. Question is if Levi's should forward integrate into the value chain, and instead of relying on the retail stores, why not create its more direct-to-consumers channels? But costs may not cover the value of this move. Retail stores are already suffering, and it is not an attractive industry to forward integrate. However, we recommend that Levi's should put extra firepower into developing e-commerce, which only accounts for 13% of its revenue in 2018. This will not sink costs into physical stores, but can replicate for customers around the world. However, on the area of horizontal diversification, Levi's remain very conservative, with only having a license agreement to use its brand, a competitive advantage in sunglasses. So we can say Levi's is still focusing on its core business without deviating much from its competitive advantages, which stems from its core competencies. Seeking international market. This is also evident in their sales. Even though 55% of their sales still come from US, the other half of the other sales are international sales, and this is expected to grow. For example, Denizen was actually created to target a younger Asian population through affordability. Next is seeking global resources. They are already using 536 factories in 23 countries and already seeking resources, arbitrage advantages from foreign locations. It is good that there are general alignment between internal and external analysis. A brand can give them an advantage over substitutes and rivals, and it has its brands as its competitive advantage. It is also focused on its brand as its business strategy, focusing on its advertising and marketing efforts on this. It is widening its opportunities for more consumers to choose or buy its brand because it plays across a wide price points. It is also widening opportunities to attract women, growing revenues from women industry and about 30% on its business in 2018. It is also aligning how it uses innovation and technology as its competitive advantage, and they have good power over its supplier network and can make suppliers adopt a new technology. It is also using technology to enhance its value chains, and also what we conclude from here is despite the headwinds, we are relatively bullish on Levi's fortunes in the near future. Thank you.
这个
10秒。
不嘞，上面
这样也没有。
Oh really?
因为 the next one 才是 core competency.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, tell me when you're ready.
3, 2